to make things like space and cyber and other advanced capabilities, including hypersonics. And this will be among the largest investments in our national security in history. Some people don't like the increase, but we're in a different world today. America is more prosperous, more successful, and more just when it is more secure. We can restore fiscal responsibility and safeguard our security at home and abroad while meeting the third value, what I call building a better America. Let's provide universal preschool, cap the cost of child care at 7% of a family's income. Like many families, that would cut the cost of child care in half. It'll make college more affordable. My budget doubles the maximum Pell Grant. Families making under $50,000 a year to nearly $13,000 and helps more than 8 million students who rely on Pell Grants pay for college. My budget invests in building more homes to keep us up to deal with the skyrocketing cost of housing for the middle class and the poor. My budget lowers family energy costs with tax credits to help people make their homes more efficient. Research and development to broaden the reach of solar and build a clean energy future. My budget also invests in other areas of bipartisan common good. I call them unity agendas. I spoke to them at the State of the Union. Beating the opioid epidemic, taking on challenges of mental health, supporting our veterans, and ending cancer as we know it. This budget includes investments to get Americans the mental health services they need, and we need them. And when it comes to fighting cancer and other diseases, my budget funds a new organization called ARPA-H, that's Health and Human Services, at the Department of Health. And it stands for Advanced Research Projects for Health. It's based on DARPA, the Defense Department program, that led to breakthroughs in technologies like the internet, GPS, and so much more. ARPA-H will drive breakthroughs to prevent, detect, and treat diseases, including Alzheimer's, diabetes, cancers, and more. And here's what this all adds up to. Historic deficit reduction, historic investment in our security at home and abroad by modernizing our capabilities in both areas, and an unprecedented commitment to building an economy where everyone has a chance to succeed. A plan to pay for those investments that we need as a nation. That's what we do. So I look forward to working with the members of Congress, Democrats, Republicans, and Independents, to deliver this budget and keep delivering for the American people. I want to thank you all, and may God bless you all, and may God protect our troops. Let me, Kelly O'Donnell, NBC.
Thank you, Mr. President. Do you believe what you said? Thank you, sir. Do you believe what you said, that Putin can't remain in power? Or do you now regret saying that because your government has been trying to walk that back? Did your words complicate matters?
Well, you asked 3 different questions. I'll answer them all. Number one, I'm not walking anything back. The fact of the matter is I was expressing the moral outrage I felt toward the way Putin is dealing in the actions of this man. Just brutality. Half the children in Ukraine. I just come from being with those families. And so, but I want to make it clear, I wasn't then, nor am I now, articulating a policy change. I was expressing the moral outrage that I feel, and I make no apologies for it.
Personal feelings, sir. Your personal feelings?
My personal feelings. Secondly, you asked me about, well, what was the second part?
Does it complicate the diplomacy of this moment?
No, I don't think it does. You know, the fact is that we're in a situation where what complicates the situation at the moment is the escalatory efforts of Putin to continue to engage in carnage, the kind of behavior that makes the whole world say, "My God, what is this man doing?" That's what complicates things a great deal, but I don't think it complicates it at all. Let me go to Steve Holland, Reuters.
Mr. President, thank you. When you say that you're not walking anything back, you do feel that Vladimir Putin should be removed from power? Is that what you're saying?
No, what I was expressing, just what I said. I was expressing the moral outrage I felt towards this man. I wasn't articulating a policy change. And I think that, you know, he continues on this course that he's on. He is going to become a pariah worldwide, and who knows what he becomes at home in terms of support.
And just to follow Are you concerned this remark might escalate the conflict?
No, I'm not. I'm not at all. Look, and, look, the other thing is that a couple people have asked me as well, might as well speak to it unless you want to ask the question, but, that other governments have suggested that this is a problem, I'm escalating things. No. And has it weakened NATO? No, it hadn't. NATO has never, ever, 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 ever been as strong as it is today. Never.
So if saying he cannot remain in power does not mean regime change, what does it mean in your opinion?
It means that I would hope it was expressing my outrage. He shouldn't remain in power. Just like, bad people shouldn't continue to do bad things. But it doesn't mean we have a fundamental policy to do anything to take Putin down in any way.
What made you add that? Because that wasn't in your prepared remarks, we were told. So what made you add that at the end, Mr. President?
Because I was talking to the Russian people. The last part of the speech was talking to the Russian people, telling them what we thought. And I was communicating this to not only the Russian people, but the whole world. This is just stating a simple fact that this kind of behavior is totally unacceptable. Totally unacceptable. And the way to deal with it is to strengthen and keep NATO completely united and help Ukraine where we can. Cleve, you had a question. Where is he?
Thanks, Mr. President. On your budget, you've said repeatedly at the State of the Union that you're not for defunding the police. I do wonder how much emphasis you think should be put on alternative forms of crime prevention, not just defunding the police, but crime reduction in communities.
Oh, a significant amount. I've laid that out in detail in the budget. For example, we do know that intervention programs work. We do know that what police need, they need psychologists in the department as much as they need extra rifles. They need people who are in the department who can deal with the crisis that the police are going through as well, dealing with their crises, dealing with their mental state and how they're handling things. They need social workers engaged with them. I lay it all out. And it all works. If you see these community intervention programs, they work. They actually reduce crime. They significantly reduce crime. So that's a big piece of it.
Just a follow-up. Is any of it related to political pressure from Republicans saying that Democrats are soft on crime, that you guys are careening to the left?
Isn't that kind of fascinating? When I first got elected, I was being beat up because I supported the police too much for the previous 30 years. No, that's what I think. Ozma.
Surprised to get called. Thank you, Mr. President. Are you willing to try to meet with Vladimir Putin? And I have a quick follow-up to that. When you last met with him face-to-face in Geneva, you had described that as a productive conversation. You said that he did not want a Cold War. And do you feel, given the actions, though, that have happened over the last few months, I guess I'm asking what has changed in his mind?
I don't know what's changed his mind. His behavior has changed. When we met, remember what we were talking about. We were talking about setting up a strategic dialogue and talking about the relationship